This is the Stan Major Show. The toll-free number is 1-800-444-69. That's 1-800-444-69. Now, let the talk begin. Here's Stan Major.
How about that? Okay. Well, that's one way to start a brand new show. We use the wrong phone number and just use the plain music. That open that you just used, Paul, rip the label off that, throw that in the wastepaper basket, okay? We just use the plain music on this. Hi, welcome to the Stan Major program, and we'll get the technical things all worked out. We're going to be on the air for the next 5 hours, and inviting your telephone calls and your comments, and we're live across America. The telephone number is 1-800-365-8833, and primarily you're going to be my guests, rather than a bunch of boring authors and a bunch of people who appear on every talk program in the United States. We on the wrong mic? Oh. Okay. I told you we were going to have technical glitches here in the first 10 minutes of the show. Well, the first 2 minutes anyway. Now we got it all worked out. Now we sound better. The phone number here is for the Stan Major program is 1-800-365-8833. This has all evolved this way. I began a program at 9 p.m. Eastern Time last week on North America 1, which is the alter ego to the Sun Radio Network. And we got such great reaction from that. We had a big meeting, one of those big meetings, and had a meeting of the minds, and said, why don't we do it later and do it on both Sun and North America 1, which is exactly what we're doing. And so I am live and going to be live with you from now till 5 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time. And they have told me now that there's going to be no problem in getting telephone calls, and that's what I'm really into. So let me give out the number again, because I don't see the phone ringing at all across this great country, and I know we're on about 30 radio station affiliates as we begin the newest all-night program in America, the Stan Major Show. The telephone number to reach Stan Major, that's me, is 1-800-365-8833. And you just relax, and I'm going to relax. We'll get the technical things out of the way, and we'll be on to bigger and better things at any moment. We can talk about anything you would like to talk about. We're going to be easy and loose and have some fun and take you through what are the wee small hours on the East Coast and the late night hours out on the West Coast. So you be my guest. The number again, toll-free, is 1-800-365-8833. By way of introduction, if you say, boy, I've heard that name before, but I can't place it. Where did I hear the name Stan Major before? Well, it's very simple. I'm going to run through a resume here that you wouldn't believe. That'll take you it'll take me about 1 minute, okay? If you've ever lived in Miami, or Philadelphia, or Kansas City, or St. Louis, or Milwaukee, or Phoenix, you have heard me probably doing a talk program. In 1969 and 70, I was a correspondent in Vietnam for NBC News, and that's where you may have heard the name. If you're from up around northwest Illinois, the Rockford area, I ran for Congress up there back in 68, and I ran for the Illinois Senate again in 72. I lost both times, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, and I'm not a hotshot politician on the take someplace. By the way, a hotshot politician on the take making a hell of a lot more money than I'm making right now, I might add, as most politicians do make big bucks, either above or under the table. I think that's about it. A long, long time ago, I was a rock jock, disc jockey in this business, in Chicago and Boston and Washington, D.C., and a few other places. So that's the Stan Major history, most recently in Miami at WIOD, and before that at WNWS, and I'm sorry, at WINZ, earlier in Miami at WNWS, some years ago in Philadelphia, which I forgot, WWDB, the America's only FM all-talk station in a major market, and was there from 80 through 85. Out in Phoenix in 1986 at KFYI. And that's my history, friends, okay? Getting a couple of calls. Let me give out the number again for the Stan Major program, 1-800-365-8833. All right, we're back with you, and the telephone number for the Stan Major program, the brand new Stan Major program, all night at America, is 1-800-365-8833. Write it down. Call us anytime, Monday through Friday, from 12 midnight Eastern Time until 5 a.m. 1-800-365-8833. And isn't it interesting, the very first call is in Tampa, Florida. Robert, how are you?
Stan, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. I'm doing terrific. Yeah, we're a neighbor of yours down there in Miami. I don't know if you've had privy to the news, what was going on down there earlier with the Haitian sensation, the Haitians rioting down there.
Yeah, they stirring up a little trouble.
Yeah, well, that's...
Which is not unlike them.
Well, that's one thing I want to bring up. You know, it seems like, you know, we ingratiate ourselves to these people that come from foreign countries like this in recent light, and then when they get in this country, there seems to be a lot of trouble precipitated from these people. Things they're worried about politics in the country they came from. I'm wondering if they're so worried about it, why don't they just stay there and try to make a change there instead of coming over here causing trouble?
I think that's a good idea, Robert. Let's ship them all out, okay?
I'm not saying ship them all out.
No, let's pack them all up on a big boat and ship them all back to Haiti.
But the thing is,
okay?
Stan, you think about this country here. I mean, there's people here that work hard and this and that, and this is what the country ethic's all about. Is your allegiance to this country, or is it going to be allegiance? Look, you know, I'm of Italian heritage. You know, if things go wrong over there, am I all of a sudden say, well, the Italians are being mistreated over there, I'm going to do this and that?
No, but it's how can you compare the two, Robert, okay? How can you compare the two?
Well,
I mean, these people, a great number of them fled Haiti because of the repression of the Duvalier regimes there. And what we're going to get now is we're going to get Baby Doc back, okay? And it's going to be worse than ever. So I can sympathize with the way they feel. I don't believe anybody should be rioting, all right? But I can understand that they're very emotional. Haitians are very emotional, and I can understand that they're terribly upset by the events in Haiti. And but that doesn't excuse burning, looting, and doing anything else. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you very much for saying that, at least.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. Good to hear from you. Let's go to Dan in Clayton, California. And when you call in, please tell us where you're listening to the program, if you know the call letters of the radio station you're listening to. Dan, how you doing?
Oh, just fine, Stan. KTLA, I believe it is. I just tuned it in tonight, as a matter of fact. Did I hear you say this is your first show?
Yeah, this is the first show on both the Sun Network and North America One. We were on North America One last week. I think it's KPLA.
KPLA, you're probably right. I'm having real difficulty tuning it in. I just heard another program on just before that was caught my interest, and I wasn't sure what you were geared to, but since I heard William F. Buckley's theme song here a few minutes ago, I know I'm on the right track. I want to talk about this drug legalization that I've been reading about and hearing about quite a bit lately. I'm pretty much all for it for crime prevention and crime reduction, but I see one big block that stands in the way of the entire thing, and what I've thought this out and decided that what must be done first is we've got to stop promoting all drugs. People put sex on the air to sell me tennis shoes and fast cars, which is really not harmful, but when they put sex on the air to sell me drugs, I think they should consider that.
What do you mean when they put sex on the air to sell you drugs?
Well, I happen to have been convicted of drunk driving myself, and I've and everybody else that I've ever talked to now considers alcohol just as much a drug as nicotine and caffeine, and all of them are drugs. These are.
What do you want to do? Go back to prohibition so I can make a lot of money bootlegging?
No, quite the opposite. I want to. I'd love to see the entire thing legalized, but much more as.
Well, wait a minute. We got legalized alcohol, and you don't like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
You've also got legalized promotion of alcohol. I'd like to stop the promotion.
Why? Why? We like to make some money in this business.
Well,
you took the cigarette revenue away from us, okay? You and your congressman took the cigarette advertising revenue away from the broadcasting industry. Now you want to take all those wonderful beer commercials with those good-looking bodies off TV?
Yeah, yes, sir, I do. Only when they're construed with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
If you're selling me alcohol and you tell me that I'm going to get
Okay, Dan, I got news for you. Dan, don't buy it.
Don't buy the beer?
Don't buy it. Right. Nobody's twisting your arm and making you buy it, okay?
Well, they've been twisting my arm since I was about 2 years old.
Well, Dan, I don't like it, and I don't buy it.
You
stand up and be a man, Dan. Don't buy it, okay?
You don't buy beer?
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Okay?
Okay, well.
All right, good to talk to you. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
That's the way you handle that, folks. If you don't like it, you don't support it, and you don't buy it. It's that simple, okay? Boy, we're getting heavy. We're getting the Tom Valentine leftovers, which I'm not particularly interested in, okay? This is not a continuation of his program. This is another show. And if you would like to participate, we have all of our lines available, which is amazing because they told me last week, boy, you get on that network, man, all those affiliates, you're not going to have any problem getting telephone calls, and the first 2 calls I get are leftover Tom Valentine calls. Call Tom Valentine about that stuff. Don't call Stan Major. We're going to do an easy, relaxed, fun show here all night long. And if you'd like to participate, we're at 1-800-365-8833. Now, have you noticed that the reason that we're starting off this way is men are calling, not women, okay? In fact, if this keeps up, I'm not going to talk to any men. I won't talk to them if this keeps up. I'm not interested in, shipping all the Haitians back to Haiti. It ain't going to happen. I'm not interested in taking beer commercials off TV. It ain't going to happen. I talk realistic here. Realism, okay? I'm not in a fantasy world, all right? The beer commercials are going to be on the tube. And if you don't want the beer, don't buy the beer. And the Haitians are going to be down in Miami, and when things happen in their country, they're going to be upset, and we're not shipping them all back, okay? It's that simple. All right, all of our lines are available, and the telephone number for the Stan Major Show, a brand new show, and if you'd like to support us for a change, give us a call. 1-800-365-8833 is the number. And that's our call-in number, toll-free from wherever you may be, from Maine to California, 1-800-365-8833. One thing you might like to talk about tonight, and by the way, we don't solve the ills of the world on this program, and don't ever call me thinking we're going to solve the ills of the world or thinking you're going to solve the ills of the world, because it ain't going to happen, all right? I've been in this business too damn long, and I'll tell you right now, there is no radio talk program that is going to solve a single problem, all right? If you want to solve problems, get elected. San Francisco has edged out Florence as the best vacation city in the world. This in USA Today, according to Condé Nast Traveler's annual readers poll. London and Vienna tied for third place. Now, this is the first time a U.S. city has topped the worldwide list since the Reader's Choice Awards began in 1988. About 20,000 readers responded to the poll. By the way, it's very interesting. Think of this. 20,000 readers responded to this poll by this travel magazine. 20,000 readers. Do you know how many people determine what television show succeeds? What is it, about 1,300? Wired houses across this whole country? Think about that. 20,000 people respond to a poll that nobody pays any attention to, and some 1,300 people who are wired for ratings in the television industry decide whether or not you and I are going to watch our favorite show next week. Incredible. Let me give out the number again. I'm amazed here. Now, we're in Tampa, and I used to be on the air in Tampa, St. Pete. And at least I know I should get a few calls from people who used to listen to the Stan Major Show on WDAE back in the mid-'70s here in Tampa. The number for you in Tampa and in St. Pete and Clearwater is 1-800-365-8833, and that is the same number across the entire country. We'd like to know where you're listening to the station, where you're listening to the show, what station, what affiliate. You can also listen to it directly on your satellite dish on North America 1, so you can tell us that. We'd be happy to have you call in, participate, whatever you'd like to say, whatever you'd like to do, but don't call in here to solve the ills of the world. We're not going to do that on this program. We're just going to have a good time and keep you awake. And hopefully we will talk to a lot of the females across the country, because I like that. 1-800-365-8833 is the number. Toll free, 1-800-365-8833. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Oh, already? Wow. All right, we're getting everything. Boy, you talk about playing it loose and fast. Let's go to Bobby in San Diego, California. I'm really interested where Bobby's hearing us. How are you, Bobby?
Okay.
Are you listening to us on a radio station?
Well, actually, what I did was I just turned you on. I already knew what the callers are for your station. It's the first time I listened to you.
Well, this is a network program, and we don't know who's carrying us. It's, like...
What are you talking about tonight?
We're talking about anything, Bobby,
Anything?
especially with you.
Well, I do have a really serious question I want to ask you.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's not that serious. You know that Jim Baker guy that got busted a long time ago?
The who?
Jim Baker?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard nothing about him.
That's because he's been in jail.
He's still there?
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to get free.
Well, it didn't work.
Didn't?
No.
No, when he first got on the air on TV, he was sending me a free Bible correspondence course to find out how much I knew about the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found I didn't know much about it.
He was kind of cute, wasn't he?
He looked kind of like, what's that guy's name? Robert Wagner?
Really?
He first got on there. Yeah, he did. And his wife is so pretty.
Did you like his hair? Now, who had the prettiest hair, Tammy Faye or Jim?
I think they're kids.
Did you send him any money?
No, I never did. This is what
Good for you, Bobby.
This is what really got to me. I'll send you a free Bible for a $100 donation.
Oh, really? A free bottle of what?
A what?
Oh, a Bible.
Yeah,
oh, a free Bible.
Send you a free Bible for
I
a
got
$100 donation fee. And I said, well, I have to think about that one for a minute. Because $100 for a free Bible doesn't sound free to me.
Bobby, do me a favor. Are you near your radio?
Yep.
Can you see where the radio station is that you're listening, where it is on the dial?
Oh, darn, I just did it again.
Oh, don't mess up the living room, Bobby.
Practice at that one. It's on 100.
It's at
No, wait a minute.
It's at 100? That's a brand new radio station, friends. I never heard of a radio station at 100.
FM instead of AM.
All right, Bobby, we got to take a break. Good to hear from you, okay? Thank you. The Stan Major program continues. This is our first time on the air on both the Sun Radio Network and on North America 1. And we're delighted to be with you wherever you may be. The telephone number toll-free from any place in the world is 1-800. Well, it's not toll-free from any place in the world. It's toll-free in the continental United States. Now, is this toll-free from Alaska and Hawaii, too? It is? Wow, I'm impressed. How about Nice and Cannes? That's my favorite place. It's not toll-free from there. 1-800-365-8833 is our number. We're going to be with you on many of these stations until 5 a.m. Eastern Time, which is a long time. We got a long time to go. We've got a 5-hour show nightly, Monday through Friday, and we're off and running. Now that we got the technical bugs out of the way, we should be okay. Let's go to Victor in, let's go to Victor, Montana. Bob?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I was about to go to Bob, Montana. I was going to talk to Victor in Bob, Montana.
Oh, no, you got it right.
How are you?
But anyway, going to be talking about all the time. If that little last phone call you had is an example of what this program's going to be, you are from Dullsville, man.
Okay, well, turn it off then. That's what I've always told people who don't like me.
I'm going to give you about 30 minutes.
Hey, you want us to get rid of the communists in Moscow? We already did that, Victor. That's no problem anymore. What problem you want me to solve next, Victor? Okay.
I don't want you to solve nothing. You couldn't and I couldn't.
Okay.
But I like to listen to those problems instead
You want those problems all night long? You want to talk about negativism and problems and things you can't solve all night long, Victor? Boy, I'll tell you, I can't take that.
Well, I can't take listening to that stale news about this Jim Baker and that overpainted wife of his.
Well, what do you want to talk about, Victor?
Well, yeah, I told you.
No, be specific, Victor. What specifically do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the current events.
What? No, wait a minute. What in
histories of what's been going on?
What's going on?
I called you here the other night, and I mentioned the fact about the Federal Reserve Company.
Oh, you want to go back to the Federal Reserve? You want more Tom Valentine? Wait a minute. Let's get Tom Valentine on the phone so he can talk to you about it, okay? No, this is a different. Victor, listen to me. Victor, listen to me. The Stan Major program begins at 12 midnight Eastern Time, okay? It is a different program. It is not an extension of any other program that preceded it. You got that? Okay, now, if you don't like the program, Victor, you know what you can do, okay? I'm going to move on to somebody else, Victor. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Let's go to Pete in Orange, California. Pete, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'd like to know who's going to be facing Pittsburgh in the World Series.
Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Who cares?
Okay.
Now, why are you? No, wait a minute. Why are you so sure it's going to be Pittsburgh? Because did Atlanta win tonight?
I don't know.
I haven't. Did they win? Are you sure it's going to be Pittsburgh?
Well, certainly.
How do you know?
Well, I know.
Well, Atlanta just got lucky from the Cubs. You know what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to win the World Series in 6 games, no matter.
Against who? Against who, Pete?
Whoever they play.
Now, you're living out in Orange, California. What are you doing rooting for Pittsburgh, for heaven's sakes?
Well, I only spent about 40 years there.
Oh, I see. Okay. You're like the folks that live down in Miami who root for the Yankees all the time.
Well, you have to root for somebody, don't you?
That's true. I root for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I have another question.
Figure that one out.
This is your first night on this?
This is my first night on the Sun Network, yeah.
You had 2 calls, okay, 2 men. Right off the bat, you're going to cut the men off. And the other calls, you wanted to let them be specific. Why don't you say what you want the people to talk about?
They can call in and they can talk about anything their little heart desires. We're not gonna solve the ills of the world.
Like it.
They can talk about. This is just not an extension of a preceding program. If you want another 5 hours of Tom Valentine, he's going to have to pay for that. Okay, you got it?
No, I don't have it yet.
Okay. Well, Pete, why don't you call me back in a couple of weeks after you listen to the show? Maybe you'll be having a good time. Okay? All right. Good to talk to you. Let's go to Inglewood, Florida. Is that right? Inglewood, Florida.
Right.
Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I want to wish you luck, and I hope, now I know why you want women callers.
Boy, I'll tell you, these men are something else,
very
aren't
hard
they?
to please.
Yes, they are.
You have to admit it, even though you're a man.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
I just turned the dial, and I'm glad I got you because I'm an avid radio listener, plus, meaning a talk show host, but a good talk show. Now, I think I heard you say that you were with WNWS.
Right.
I'm here over 9 years, and I don't think that I've ever heard you. But whatever happened to WNWS?
It went poof.
One morning, nobody is there.
Right.
All they're rock and rolling, and they're just drumming people's heads. I mean, what happened?
Now, are you talking about the former talk station in Miami?
Right.
WNWS, Al Rantel and Jerry Wichner and all those folks?
Well, Jerry Wichner left after that.
Yeah, right.
Well, he left before that happened.
Right, yeah. Well, what happened was a corporate decision was made by the folks who own that radio station to go to music. All right?
Overnight?
Well, it's not overnight. Those things are never overnight.
I didn't think so, but it happened awful fast. Well, anyway,
well,
I want to wish you luck.
I thank you very much, Ray.
I tell you, don't listen to what people tell you. You do your own thing.
I have always done my own thing, and all of these gentlemen who are calling in who want an extension of Tom Valentine's show for the next 5 hours.
I don't even know who he is.
Well, they're all going to be listening to this program because this is going to be the best thing on the air, okay?
No, I'm going to tell you.
Larry King is a bore, and Tom Snyder's finished at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, and there's nothing that follows him. And, you know, I know that I'm no Deborah Norville, thank God, but we're going to have a fun time. Okay, Ray?
I hope so. And I want to tell you something. From New York, I know Bob Grant,
right.
Long John Neville before he died.
Oh, I love Long John.
I've been listening to them for years.
You remember Long John's UFO shows he used to have? All those strange people? Well, we're going to do some of that. We're going to bring some strange people on this show, okay?
Oh, I hope so. I hope you have something that really, I have the radio on all night long.
We're going to have some real weirdos on this program, Ray.
Well, it doesn't have to
we're
be
gonna, no,
weirdos.
we figure flying saucers out in the parking lot and alien beings.
That's not weird.
Well, whatever, okay?
Don't think it doesn't happen. I believe it does.
In fact, I'll tell you, we're going to have even weirder. We'll even have a bureaucrat from Washington on occasionally. Now, you can't get any stranger than that.
No, you really can't. I hope you pick a good one.
Thank you, Ray.
Okay.
Good to talk to you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Let me give out the phone number again. See, the women make sense, right? I mean, Bobby called in from San Diego with a question, whatever happened to Jimmy Baker? She wasn't, you could tell where she was going. She wasn't even interested in Tammy Faye. She was just interested in Jimmy, right? Maybe she and Jimmy had a thing going there in the past that we didn't know about. I should have asked her. And we've got a bunch of lines available for you right now, wherever you may be in this great country. This is the new all-night show in America, the Stan Major program, debuting tonight. We'll be here Monday through Friday for these 5 hours. That's a long time. And I'm counting on a lot of really good people to help us make it through the night every night. And wherever you may be, the toll-free number, if you want to write it down and keep it right by the radio, right by the telephone, is 1-800-365-8833. 1-800-365-8833. Now, we'll be happy to talk about anything you want to talk about. All right? No, I mean that. I mean that. We'll be delighted to talk especially to the beautiful women across the country because, there's nothing that grabs a guy's attention quicker than to hear one of those soft, delectable voices on the radio talking all night. And if you don't believe that, get a CB when you're driving down the highway and listen to what the truckers have to say. Interesting conversation. 1-800-365-8833. Let me continue with this story out of USA Today. And this has to do with the best, this 20,000 reader response poll that said San Francisco was the best vacation city in the world. Here are a couple of other things that came out of this poll. The best worldwide hotel is the Dolder Grand in Zurich. And the second runner-up is the Regent in Hong Kong. The best U.S. hotel is the Bel Air in Los Angeles. And the second best is Windsor Court in New Orleans. The best spa is Canyon Ranch near Stockbridge in the Berkshires of western Massachusetts, a sister resort of Canyon Ranch in Tucson, which was a 1990 winner. The best mainland resort is the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida, and the Phoenician in Scottsdale, Arizona. The best tropical resort is the Kona Village on the Big Island of Hawaii, and Halekulina on Oahu. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. And the best cruise line is the Royal Cruise Line and the Royal Viking Line. These are from the Condé Nast Travelers Annual Readers Poll. Okay? And you certainly are entitled to your own opinion. The Ritz-Carlton down in Naples is very nice and very expensive, as most Ritz-Carltons are. Let's go to Mark in Oceanside, California, listening to us on X-E-K?
Correct.
How are you?
Good, yourself?
Great.
Hey, as a new talk show host, you should tell the people where you stand on some issues. Are you a liberal, conservative, what?
I'm basically conservative on most issues, Mark, okay?
Well, listen, I got an idea about the drug problem, so I don't know where you...
Another guy who's going to solve the drug problem. Lay it on me, Mark. You going to take beer commercials off TV?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Singapore had a horrendous drug problem, and they solved it. And I think if we adopted the same solution here, we could do the same.
Singapore, what did they do? They shoot everybody that was on drugs?
No, they did several things, and you have to hear the whole system out.
The whole system. Does that mean you're going to do the next 30 minutes of the show?
I'll be very quick. First, they give very stiff penalties for possession, very severe penalties for distribution. But most importantly, they opened clinics, and all the addicts could go there to the clinic to get the drug at a fraction of the cost, and it's administered to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they could do the same thing here.
Okay, and we'll use your tax money to do that. Okay, Mark?
No, they pay for it themselves.
Oh, the addicts pay for it? These clinics are paid for by the addicts?
Sure.
Okay, Mark, it's good to hear from you. I got to take a break. We solved that problem, friend. Welcome back to the Stan Major program as we go through the next few hours with you. Delighted to have you with us, especially out in Los Angeles. I guess we are on the air on radio station XEKAM at 950 in Los Angeles. And, boy, I am happy about that. I didn't think we were going to be on the air for a couple of hours more. I thought we would join them about 11 o'clock California time, but apparently we're already on the air with them. And I hope that they will stick with us. That's fantastic. I'm going to have to get some information on that station to know exactly what call letters they use and how they identify themselves on the air. So if anybody listening to that station in Los Angeles would like to help me out on that, give me a call at 1-800-365-8833. We've got an interesting contest going here at Sun. How would you like to have over 200 channels of video entertainment at your fingertips with the capability to receive all the premium channels like HBO, ESPN, CNN, and Showtime? Well, your dream will come true if you win the Toshiba Home Theater Entertainment System that we're giving away. $5,000 home entertainment system will be installed in your home at no charge if you're the winner. And you really could win. Just send a postcard today to Satellite Theater Contest, Sun Radio Network, the Sun Radio Network, at 2857 Executive Drive, Clearwater, Florida, 34622. That's Clearwater, Florida, 34622. Good luck from Toshiba, your favorite radio station and the Sun Radio Network. All right, let's go to James in Bluefield, West Virginia.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm not going to tell you how to solve the world's problems. I'm going to tell individuals how they can solve their own problems and thus solve the world's problems. I happen to work at a library, so I think that everybody needs to use their local library in all the different facets that it has, from fiction literature to classified literature on different subjects, to the reference section, to local laws and that sort of thing. They need to go down to their library and look up the books on the subjects that they're interested in or that they have heard about and start to form their own opinions. When they form their own opinions, there are resources at the library where they can find who to give their opinions to.
Let me ask you a question, James.
Yes, sir.
Who takes the books out of the library other than the people who want to read them?
Well, if you have a library card, you can take out any book.
No, I mean,
people that come in.
You listen to my question. Who else takes books out of the library?
Other than the people that come into the library?
Right.
Nobody.
Nobody, no pressure group has ever gotten a book taken out of your library?
Oh, no.
Really?
I understand what you're saying. You're talking about certain books that...
naughty, nasty books that people don't like.
Now, we have some books that we keep behind the front desk.
Oh, like Playboy.
No, well, we don't carry Playboy.
No, I mean, that's what they do now at the newsstands. They have to keep Playboy under wraps, see? They don't want that Playboy cover to be seen by a 12-year-old boy, because God only knows what's going to happen to that 12-year-old boy if he sees the cover of Playboy or Hustler magazine.
Well, I have to be honest with you. The magazines and books that we keep behind the desk, the reason that we keep those books behind the desk is they have a tendency, if we put them on the shelves, to have pages missing from them.
Yeah, but that could happen with National Geographic.
Well, I have to say, we keep Sports Illustrated behind the front desk because it has a tendency to have pictures missing.
Huh.
So, it's not just the things that are...
It's not just the swimsuit issue?
Not just the swimsuit issue.
Or do you just keep it behind the desk because you like to look at it all the time? See, I caught you there, Jim, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, good to talk to you in Bluefield, Virginia. You're listening on WKDY?
WKOY.
WKOY.
Yeah, you have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All righty. We got a couple lines available if you'd like to get in on the newest talk show in America, the Stan Major program, which debuted in this hour. In this very hour, my fellow Americans, we came on the air, and we will not allow Satan or the strong right-wingers to get rid of us. You got that? We will not be censored, my fellow Americans. Tuck a little something in the envelope to keep this program going, okay? Like coupons out of your newspaper for Huggies, because I need a lot of those coupons, friends. My baby is really something. 1-800-365-8833 is our number. All of our lines are available. What happened to Junior in Tampa? Did he give up?
No.
Oh, he's still there? That's funny. I don't see a phone line lit up.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Wow. That's magic. How can he call in when there's no phone line lit up? Woo, I was talking about UFOs and flying saucers. This guy must be an alien being from Tampa.
No, not really.
Oh, I see. It's lit up in there. All right, that makes me feel better. How you doing, Junior?
I'm doing just fine.
What's happened to the Bucks, Junior?
Oh, man, let's don't even talk about that. We can't solve that problem, I'm for sure.
Listen, my Eagles weren't that hot tonight. They don't even have a quarterback.
No, I watched that, too.
Yeah, I think the Eagles ought to go after Steve Walsh myself.
So I guess I'm going to have to pick Tampa Bay next weekend.
Well, who are they playing next weekend?
They play the Bucks.
Oh, boy. All right.
That's not what I want to talk about.
Of course not. You don't want to talk football. You want to talk about the Federal Reserve System.
No, I don't.
Oh, good.
The news media puts out a lot of news, and seems like I'm always getting on the tail end of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know if y'all have any more information about this 4,000-year-old Iceman.
Oh, the Iceman.
Where he was found.
The Iceman cometh.
You know?
Yeah, well, they're trying to resuscitate him. Goldie Hawn is giving him mouth-to-mouth right now, sir, okay?
But I just wonder what country where they found him.
Gee, you asked me a question I don't have the answer to. But I'll tell you what, we've got to... Hey, listen, we will be able to get the answer to any question on this show, believe me. We've got somebody listening from Maine to California who knows exactly where that dude is, okay?
That's what I'd like to know.
Let me give out the phone. You listen on the air, Junior. Let me give out the phone number, and we'll get an answer for you, all right? Good to talk to you. 1-800-365-8833. Where did they dig that guy up? It was over in Europe someplace. 1-800-365-8833. Where is that Iceman that they found in a glacier in the mountains in Europe someplace, and what have they done with him? Well, it's been an interesting first hour, friends. We've heard from a lot of people in California and across the country, and I am absolutely ecstatic about that, and that's the way this show is going to go. I want to especially invite the women in the listening audience to participate in this show, because I don't know, you just you don't get into that knockdown drag out let's cure the ills of the world thing when the women call in. They're easy, if you'll pardon the expression, okay? They're easy when it comes to having a conversation with them, and they're great to liven up the show and talk to all night, and we'll be delighted to talk to them and delighted to talk to anybody in the listening audience. Our phone number, again, if you'd like to jot it down and call in during the next hour, we hope you'll still be with us, 1-800-365-8833, 1-800-365-8833. This is the brand new Stan Major program, and we will be on the air Monday through Friday, 12 midnight Eastern Time until 5 a.m. So be with us. We'll be back. All right, Stan Major back for another hour. Delighted to have you with us. My lines are available at 1-800-365-8833. 1-800-365-8833. We had a caller earlier who wanted to know where the Iceman disappeared to, where they found him, actually. And that story was in the news a couple of days ago, and I recall the very vivid picture on the front page of the newspaper, but I can't recall where they actually found that Iceman, as he was called, because they found him on a glacier, I think someplace in Europe. So anybody has the answer to that, give us a call. We'll talk about anything that happens to be on your mind from Maine to California. This is a live call-in program with very few guests. You are my guests, and I hope you will accept my offer to call at 1-800-365-8833. We should start a campaign to get Bill Moyers off television. Bill Moyers and PBS have such an incestuous relationship, it's just unbelievable. And every time I look, Bill Moyers is doing another show. This guy must make so much money, and you know, a lot of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and all that stuff is tax supported. So what's happening actually is that you're paying Bill Moyers' salary for all of these shows, or a great deal of it. That and the fabulous begathons that the PBS stations have to have across the country. I guess that helps out also. But I cannot believe that there are two people that just absolutely survive, and I don't know how they do it. One is Dick Cavett. Every time you think Dick Cavett is washed up, finished, he's had another failure, he's back, okay? You know what he's doing now? He's on CNBC doing interviews. Two people that I could dearly, I think I would contribute to their retirement or pension fund, Bill Moyers and Dick Cavett. The other thing I wanted to mention, I like USA Today. It's an interesting paper. There's no food for thought in USA Today. Like they have under USA Snapshots, they have a look at statistics that shape our lives. Radio's Hit Parade. And here's a chart. USA Today is very much into charts because they can do things with color. They love to do things with color, blues and pinks. It's like a bunch of little kids that sit around the newsroom at USA Today with their coloring, their crayons, Oh, let's make this chart blue. Let's make this one pink. Let's make this one red. Let's make this one yellow. Okay? They must have a great time up there at USA Today. This is Radio's Hit Parade. There are 10,924 AM and FM radio stations in the USA. The top formats are country, 2,577. Well, that's because there's so many truckers out there that demand country music when they're out on the road all night. Second is adult contemporary at 2,359. Can anybody call in and give me the definition of an adult contemporary music format on a radio station? I challenge you to do that. And guess what's third? Religious and gospel. Do you know that there are more religious and gospel radio stations in the country than there are oldie, moldy, goldie stations, or even contemporary hit radio or top 40 stations? or talk stations or news stations. There are 1,336 religious and gospel radio stations in this country. And the Lord said, spread the word, boy. And I'll tell you, the way the FCC operates, every AM station in this country is eventually going to be religious or gospel. It's really scary. Really scary. All right. We would invite your participation on the show at 1-800-365-8833. That's the toll-free number, 1-800-365-8833. Whatever you'd like to discuss on the Stan Major program, the brand new Stan Major program debuting tonight from coast to coast on Sun Radio and on North America One at 1-800-365-8833. Where are all those women listening across the country? I want to hear from them. We will take a break, and we'll be right back with your phone calls on the Stan Major program. Okay, welcome back to the Stan Major program. Let's go to Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Annie.
Oh, hi, Stan. How are you?
How are you doing, Annie?
Oh, I don't know, right, I guess.
Well, you sound fine, but maybe life could be better for you, right?
Well, definitely.
Okay.
But anyway, you know, it's hard to fight. Sometimes it's hard to fight the city hall.
Oh, fighting City Hall. You never win. You have to be mayor. Okay?
Oh, I can fight him.
Yeah, just run for mayor and win, okay?
I could do that too. I'm too old for that. Forget it.
Now, you're on KAOK. I guess you're listening to us on North America One. But you wouldn't know that, but that's okay. Never mind.
Never mind.
I didn't say anything.
You did. But what I want to tell you, you was talking about that young man they found, old man now.
I think he's an old man, yeah.
Anyway,
3,000 years old or something?
Yeah, but he was in the Alps.
Yeah. Oh, in the Alps?
That's right. It was between, now, I'm not sure. I know it was Italy and whatever else. I don't know if it's Austria or the other one, and they're fighting over it right now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Maybe we'll have to chop him in half.
I was thinking about that. Because they said it was a couple of inches, one said from their border.
Oh, boy.
The other one said it was a couple of inches from their border. They brought him to one of them universities. And they keep him that's while they're fighting.
Okay, Annie, good to hear from you.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's the answer to that question, friends. And, boy, I'll tell you, we solved that problem, right? What's the next problem we want to solve? No, we're not problem solving. We're just having a good time on the radio. And let me give out the phone numbers. As this is a new show, it's easier to get in now than it will be in a couple of days when we catch, things catch on, okay? It takes a little time. So if you'd like to participate, we're at 1-800-365-8833. 1-800-365-8833. I hope a few of you possibly might have heard our shows last week, which were on North America One. We had a Kennedy assassination program, which was very well received, and we're going to do a program very similar to that during this program. Now, not tonight, but we're going to schedule it and make sure that a whole bunch of additional people along the line get to listen to it. My guest was Jim Mars, who's written the book called Crossfire, and it was quite an interesting program. 1-800-365-8833. Who shot John Kennedy? We can take your questions and queries on that if you so desire. It's always been a fascinating topic of discussion as far as I'm concerned. But whatever you'd like to talk about, we'll be delighted to take your calls at 1-800-365-8833. Let's go to Trudy in San Diego, California.
Yes, Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Trudy. How are you?
Very good.
Just wanted to welcome you to God's country.
Oh, it's beautiful out there.
It sure is. You've been here.
Well, I have a sister who lives not far from where you are. Up north a little bit.
What happened to that young man that called from Oceanside? He was cut off here by commercials. All I got was the fact that he was from Oceanside, and then commercials came on. Did you get to talk to him?
Yeah, I got to talk to him. I don't really remember.
We didn't hear it.
Well, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe they just broke away out there, but that's
what
okay.
They did.
That's okay.
That's what they
did.
Hey,
that's it's their radio station, right?
Right.
I'm not going to tell them how to run their radio station.
Heck no.
Okay?
No.
I'll tell George Bush how to do his job, but I'm not going to tell a radio station how to run their business.
Right. I don't blame you.
Okay. What's happening in San Diego?
All kinds of things. There's always a lot of activity in San Diego.
Yeah.
Lots of entertainment. Seaport Village, Dixieland music.
Yeah. Now, what's happening with all that smog that was creeping in from Los Angeles?
Yeah, that's because people come down from L.A. with all the hot air that... I said that from the start. That's how come we got this fog here, and smog.
But the zoo is still fine, right?
Oh, yeah.
The greatest zoo in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that San Diego Zoo.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, good to talk to you, my dear.
Nice to talk to you.
Call me again.
I will.
Thank you. We have to take another break. Are we coming up to a break, or can we go? Okay, let's do the break, and then we'll be back with another call from California. This is like a California talk program originating from Florida. Where are all the Florida people tonight? 1-800-365-8833. We're doing a different kind of talk program across America, the Stan Major Show. I think what we should do is we should invite the sexiest females to call in so I can get a co-host here. Right? Wouldn't that be nice to have a co-host here all night? So if you think you're really sexy, if you've got a really sexy voice, you ought to be my co-host here on the show. We have absolutely no budget for it, friends. But it might be fun to see the kind of response that we get at 1-800-365-8833. Let's go to Brian in Manteca, California, listening on KPLA. And he's, did you pay for this?
No, it's an 800 number.
Oh, did you get your quarter back?
Well, I didn't even have to put a quarter in.
Wow.
Payphones here.
Hey, that's fantastic, man.
I was just driving home, and I never get in on these talk shows, and I always listen to them, and I picked up yours and decided to give you a call.
You got right through, right, Brian?
Yeah, I did.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's something. That's because we have 150 phone lines here, Brian, you see, and 149 are all tied up.
Well, I was a little bit concerned. I turned on the radio when you were talking to the magazine store owner.
Yeah.
And you seemed like you were in favor of putting out...
No, he was a librarian.
Oh, okay. Well, I turned it on. I thought he was a magazine store
owner. No, he runs he works at a library in Bluefield, West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Or someplace up there.
Okay.
And he keeps Sports Illustrated underneath the counter in the library.
Well, I like the idea of keeping some of the pornographic magazines behind wraps.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
In fact, they're out of a lot of the convenience stores. So what are you complaining about? You're winning your battle on censorship.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like you were kind of against that.
Well, I don't like for you to select what I'm going to read, okay? Just like you wouldn't like for me to determine what you're going to read, right?
Right.
And that's just the way I feel.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm full favor of that. I just don't like... I remember as a kid you could walk into a liquor store and see 40 or 50 different magazines glaring at you in the face.
Where was that?
In Modesto, California.
Really?
Yeah, in fact, it used to be the porn capital of the United States. They had more porn per capita in the small town of Modesto than they did in San Francisco.
No kidding.
And
now, did that ruin your life, seeing all those naughty girls on the front of those magazines?
It had an impact on me.
Really?
Yeah, I think it did.
What did you do? Did you go out and rape or murder?
No, I haven't done that.
Good.
I haven't done that.
Good for you, Brian.
But it did have an impact.
But see how good you turned out? No, I'm not kidding you, Brian. Because you were able to see those naughty pictures at such a young age, you have developed and turned out to be a great American. You're out there looking out for my good, okay?
Yeah.
All right? So you can't say that seeing pictures of nude ladies on the front of magazines hurt you.
You got me there, Stan.
Okay, Brian.
You got me there.
Listen, good to talk to you.
All right.
I got so many calls coming in from sexy women who want to co-host this show. It's incredible, Brian. Thank you. Actually, none are calling, which is fascinating. 1-800-365-8833. I thought I'd throw it out to get the thing going, okay? Just to get the show going. How would you like to have over 200 channels of video entertainment at your fingertips with the capability to receive all the premium channels like HBO, ESPN, CNN, and Showtime? Is CNN a premium channel? Oh, well, we'll discuss that later. Well, your dream will come true if you win the Toshiba home theater entertainment system that we're giving away here at Sun Radio. A $5,000 home entertainment system will be installed in your home at no charge if you're the lucky winner, and you really could win. All you have to do to enter the big Toshiba contest is send a postcard. Grab something real quick to write down this address, okay? The Satellite Theater Contest. Send a postcard to Satellite Theater Contest, Sun Radio Network, 2857 Executive Drive, Clearwater, Florida, 34622. I'm going to repeat it, so just relax. And good luck from Toshiba, your favorite radio station in the Sun Radio Network. The address again, a postcard to Satellite Theater Contest, Sun Radio Network, 2857 Executive Drive, Clearwater, Florida, 34622. And put a little note for the boss on there that you heard in the Stan Major program. He'll be duly impressed. Let me give out our telephone number again, 1-800-365-8833, as we take you through the night on a brand new talk show for America, the Stan Major program. I guarantee you one thing, there is no other program like this. I am not Larry King. I'm not going to bore you with authors of books I refuse to read. I am not going to rerun tapes of my first 2 hours in the last 2 hours. I am not going to get sick and have Cindy Garvey fill in for me, like Tom Snyder is, and I don't know if Tom's on tonight or not. But somebody told me, I guess it was Tom Likas from KFI in Los Angeles. I had him on the other night, and Likas said that Snyder is nothing but another Larry King. So if you've got two Larry Kings going up against each other, you ought to have a Stan Major, right, to do a different kind of a program, and that's what we're all about, just talking to the people. I got time to go to Gary in Tampa. Let's do it. Gary, listening to us on WEND in Tampa, St. Pete. How are you?
Not bad. How's it going?
Great.
I was just wondering, this guy from California, how he said walking into the store with seeing the pornographic magazines, he said that had an effect on his life. I mean, I don't believe in censorship in any way at all.
Good for you, Gary. You're a man after my own heart.
Thanks. And I refuse to believe that taking in, visually taking in something can affect your life, unless, of course, it can be traumatic or something. But walking in and seeing magazines, I mean...
Gary, hold on. I got to take a break. I want to come back to you. Hold on. We'll be back with Gary right here. The Stan Major Show from coast to coast, a different kind of all-night talk program. Nice to have you with us. And let's go back to Gary in Tampa, who believes, like I do, that what I read and what I look at is my own damn business and nobody else's. Right?
That's exactly right.
How old are you, Gary?
I'm 18 years old.
Now, have you ever seen a picture of either a nude female or a nude male that has caused you to do anything naughty or bad in your life?
Never. I don't see how what I consider to be offensive or what anyone else on the earth considers offensive should be restricted from the general public. If you don't want to see it or you don't want to read it, then don't pick it up.
You know, the most offensive thing I've ever seen in a newspaper in my life was the picture of the state of Pennsylvania official up in Harrisburg who had a gun to his head and blew his brains out, and they slapped that in every newspaper in the United States. That's offensive, okay?
Yeah.
That's offensive. A picture of a good-looking chick with no clothes on is not offensive.
It's natural. I mean, like I said, I don't see how one person's morals or values should dictate my education or my, however I want to spend my time.
You know, the only problem we have in this country, we have a double standard. We will show a full nude of a female, but we will never show a full nude of a male.
That's true.
Has there ever been a full nude of a male in Playboy magazine?
I'm not sure.
Think about it.
I'm not well versed. I wouldn't think so.
Why the double standard, I wonder?
The world, America in specific is full of double standards.
Well, we're all brought up to think, the female woman and all this stuff, but life changes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like I was saying, double standards.
Okay, Gary, it's great to talk to you. And I'm glad you're in our neighborhood here in Tampa. Thank you. Let's go to Ray in Lake Charles, Louisiana, listening on KAOK.
What's happening?
How are you, Ray?
I just got two things to talk about real quick.
Fire, Ray.
Number one, where were all these people that are condemning what people want to read in the pornography magazines or the movies back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s? I mean, what I'm saying is what they grew up as examples for them, today they're telling other people not to look at these, but yet it was wide open back then. My point is, leave the things alone. If you're adult enough to look. If you're not, turn the other cheek and go the other way. That's the same way that if you don't like it, don't buy it.
But, they can't do it.
Why?
They're crusaders, and they've got to look out for you and me.
Well, great. I didn't appoint anybody to be my guardian angel. I mean, I am 31 years of age. I'm not 18. I'm not 16. I'm not 15. Okay? I saw on TV John F. Kennedy when I was 3 years old. They taped it being shot. Okay? That astounded me more than walking in someplace and seeing a nude magazine on the middle of a shelf. And by the way, they're not in plain sight. You have to virtually go looking for them, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, listen, they're hidden now. They're not. There's one convenience store chain that doesn't even carry those magazines anymore. You really have to go searching for them nowadays.
And if you want to go looking for them and you find them, more power to you. If you don't, stay home. Nobody
is making you buy anything, are they?
That's right.
Is anybody twisting your arm and saying you got to buy Hustler magazine?
Well, it'd help, but no. It's like I was watching a national TV show from the NBC market, and I'm not going to mention his name, being since he was related to Mr. Thomas, who's passed away, if you know who I'm talking about. And there was an ex-Miss America on there and a Miss Wisconsin, and then they had two bar owners that held lingerie contest.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying they were exploring women. They were degrading women.
Exploiting.
Yeah, bingo. Thank you so much. It's late. I'm supposed to be asleep anyway. But what I'm saying is no one twisted anybody's arm for them to sign an entry fee or give them rights to walk up and down a stage. They did it on their own. In my view...
Well, most women are natural exhibitionists.
Well, there's two ways you can look at women, and I'm going to be honest with you. Some like to be looked at like that. But if you've ever... Do you get into art?
Not really. I'm not... I can't draw. I can't make pictures. I can't do this. I can't do that. I enjoy looking at art.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
A lot of people look at women that are very fine-looking as a piece of art. You know what I'm saying? There's something to admire. Now, when the person goes beyond the fact of looking, that's when he's violating somebody's...
No, wait a minute. I totally disagree with you. Most of the men in the world fantasize over women.
Great.
Now, if I see a good-looking chick at the beach and I want to fantasize over her, What's wrong with that? I'm not violating her in any way.
There's not a thing wrong with that. In your mind, you have your own control over what you fantasize. It's when somebody goes overboard and lets their, how can I say it, when they go out and try to touch or when they try to push themselves upon somebody, that's when you draw the line and say, okay, you've gone too far. But as long as you keep it in the confines of your own body and your own mind, there's nothing wrong with it. You get my drift?
I got you.
Okay.
Good to talk to you, Ray.
Now, one more thing.
Yeah, number 2.
Okay. We have a governor's race coming down here, and we have an ex-KKK member who is in the Congress now that is running for governor. You knew this was coming.
Vote for John Volz. I know he's not running, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, right. He wasted millions of dollars trying to prosecute an ex-governor who didn't do nothing wrong anyway. But
oh, come on. John's a friend of mine. Now, don't knock John, okay?
Well, Edwin's a friend of mine, too. So what I'm getting at is, you know...
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the great Louisiana debate.
Right.
The U.S. Attorney versus the ex-governor.
I'm an Edwards fan myself. But
no kidding. I'm a Huey Long fan. Do you know I was born the day Huey Long was shot? I may be the incarnation of Huey Long.
Well, then I can talk about David Duke and get away with it.
Absolutely, you can talk about David Duke. I got no problem with David Duke. He's entitled to, just like you're entitled to pick up a dirty magazine, David Duke is entitled to run for office. Okay?
Okay. Now, this is what...
The media won't agree with that, but, hell, Stan Major says he can run for office. I don't have to vote for him. I don't have to vote against him. Let him run.
What my point is about all this, if some people would stop and listen to some of his ideas and views and put aside the fact that he used to belong to the KKK, they would find out that he has some very impressive ideas. And I'm not campaigning for him, because I'm not voting for him, okay? What I'm getting at is, down here in the South, we're in a Great Depression, big time. We have unemployment at its high. There's no jobs to be found. And virtually a lot of people are tired of giving their money to the system and not getting any help from it. But yet you see the people that have never worked in their life suddenly get a Cadillac, free Medicare, free Medicaid, food stamps. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to get, my point is...
That sounds like an old cliche they used to use about farmers.
Yeah. And now the farmers...
I don't see people getting Cadillacs today. I don't see anybody getting Cadillacs but the very, very wealthy people that you and I are shoring up with paying increased income tax, the middle class, okay?
I'll make a deal with you.
We're making the rich richer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
8 years of Ronald Reagan and 4 years of George Bush is making the rich class much richer. What's happening in this country is there's becoming a huge separation between the rich and the wealthy and the middle class, and that is not good for this country. I can remember when if a person was in the middle class, they were well-to-do. Now if you're in the middle class, you're hurting.
Big time. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be giving your address out so people can send you little clips from here and there so you can read up on what's going on?
Are you ready to write?
I'm recording it, so go for it.
Stan Major.
Okay.
In care of the Sun Radio Network, 2857 Executive Drive, Clearwater, Florida, 34622.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to send you every once in a while something so you know what's going down here in the down south, if you know what I'm saying.
Send me bumper stickers. I love bumper stickers.
You got it.
Political and non-political.
Okie dokie.
I like to collect bumper stickers. We're going to paste them all over the studio.
Well,
we're going to drive Kinsman nuts when he comes in the morning.
You keep talking about women, and I'll stay up most of the night. So.
Well, I'm not hearing from many. I don't have any sexy women calling. It's incredible. Now, you would think all those beautiful girls out in California who would like to be a co-host of this show would be calling like mad. Let me give out the phone number, 1-800-365-8833. Where are the young ladies from Malibu Beach? What's that nude beach in San Diego? I forget the name of that. Where are they? I mean, heavens. Let's go, ladies. Let's call. 1-800-365-8833.
Great talking to you.
Okay, good to talk to you.
All right, bye-bye.
That was Ray in Lake Charles, Louisiana, listening to us on a great radio station in Louisiana, KAOK. Is it K-A-O-K? K-A-O-K. Let me check and see if they're on my list here. Most of the radio stations are not on my list. It's amazing who picks you up. By the way, be sure to call the folks at XEK in Los Angeles tomorrow and tell them what a great thing the Stan Major program is. We want to stay on that station because that station serves a great deal of Southern California. Yes, we can break. We've got Jane in Shreveport, Louisiana, listening on a satellite dish. And, by the way, you can pick this program up directly on your backyard satellite dish, and we'll give you the locations in case you want to write it down. We're on both Galaxy 2 and on SpaceNet 3. And we'll give those transponders and all that technical junk and jargon that I have no idea what I'm talking about in just a moment, so don't go away. The Stan Major program at 1-800-365-8833. All right, we're back on the Stan Major program, a brand new all-night talk program, winding its way into your hearts and your homes, your cars, wherever you may be. The phone number here, toll-free, is 1-800-365-8833. I like the North America 1 numbers. They're a lot easier. Got to get this number changed. This is a difficult number for people to remember. And if you're like someplace where you can't write it down, no way are you going to get this number in your brain. 1-800. You know it's 1-800, right? We'll do it. We'll simplify it for you, because most of you have the mental abilities of a 12-year-old, right? Isn't that what they say? Yeah, me too. I mean, I include myself in this. Okay, I couldn't remember this number if I had to. So you know it's 1-800, because you ain't going to get any place unless you dial 1. You know it's long distance because I'm not sitting in your backyard. So you know you got to dial a 1. You know it's toll-free, so you got to dial an 800, okay? So it's 1-800. You got that? Then all you do is dial 365-8833. I know it's not an easy number for you. I apologize. I have nothing to do with the selection of this telephone number. I mean, it ought to be something simple like 333. 3333. How about that? Why can't we get that? Let's call up the phone company. We spend thousands and thousands of dollars a day with the phone company. Why can't they give us a decent number? 365-8833. Let's go to Jane in Shreveport, Louisiana. I have a couple lines available if you dial in right now. Jane.
Yes.
How's your dish, baby?
Oh, it's fine.
Great.
It's fine. I'm sitting up. I just did lesson plans, and I'm trying to unwind. I'm a teacher in Shreveport.
Oh, boy. God love you, Jane. Public or private?
Public.
Well, good for you. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of fights with public school teachers down through the years, but I have great respect for them. I really have great respect for them.
Well, believe me, we do a hard day's work.
Of course you do. You do more than a hard day's work.
And I couldn't believe that we had so many Louisiana callers. I thought I would call and thank all the Louisiana listeners. I think that's real impressive.
Can you imagine somebody calling in here and promoting David Duke for governor?
Well, I don't know. I'm at the point to where Romer's giving teachers such a bad rap about, evaluation and all this that that you worry about Romer, and then Edwards is he leaves the teachers alone, but he takes their money. And then you've got Duke, and you don't know what he's going to do. I mean, we're just kind of Louisiana is really, it's really an interesting place.
Jane, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah.
Abortion. How do you stand on that?
Well, personally,
yeah,
you have to. It's very individualized. I don't think it can be a national thing.
Well, do you feel a woman has a right to have an abortion?
Yes, but if it was my child or me...
Okay, but you feel basically that you agree with Roe versus Wade. You agree with the current Supreme Court. And you also basically agree with your governor, Buddy Romer. Okay?
Well, I don't agree with anything Buddy Romer said.
Well, now, he did soften the abortion thing, okay?
Yeah, he did. Abortion is just not my thing. I mean,
I understand that, but I was trying to make a point. Jane, I was trying to make a point, okay?
Yeah.
All right? He doesn't sound like he's a typical Louisiana governor. He sounds like he might be a pretty good guy.
Well, he's got the vice president in Shreveport, and now he's got the president in New Orleans. I think he's doing pretty good as far as the upper level politicians are. They agree with whatever he says, but he's not worried about me.
Okay. Well, who is David Duke?
No.
Edwin Edwards?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, what do you do? Punt?
I don't know. Would you come to Shreveport?
No, I'm not going to come get involved in Louisiana politics. Forget it.
No, we're looking for anybody.
Yeah. Well, why don't you run, Jane?
Oh, I don't know. I thought about it. Believe me, it'd be better.
Listen, Lindy Boggs was successful for years. Why don't you just go right ahead and do it?
Well, part of it is you're stuck in a classroom for 8 hours a day, and then you spend till 1 o'clock in the morning doing lesson plans. And you really don't have time to even think about doing things like that.
Well, I think you'd be a terrific candidate.
Oh, it'd be great. I'd really.
And you know that the teachers union controls the Democratic Party anyway, so you'd be right at home, right?
Oh yeah. But I agree. The guy that was talking to you before about Duke and what he said, because I want you to know something. I teach in a federally funded program, and I have had parents that have made more money on welfare and food stamps than I've ever made teaching. And that's the truth in Louisiana. And they drive Volvos and Cadillacs and Lincolns, and I drive old, worn-out cars.
Well,
that's the truth, and part of that's what's wrong with Louisiana. And they're dumping a lot. And once they cut some of their money, they move off to wherever the welfare's better, But Louisiana right now is a really good spot to live.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as far as that's concerned.
As far as handouts.
As far as a teacher's concerned, you don't make enough to pay your electric bill.
Yeah.
But, I have had, parents turn in, $1,200 a month welfare and then $400 a month food stamps. And you just go, wow, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing because I'm working all day.
Yeah.
So it is true. The guy's right. I mean, it is true. It does.
Well, I don't have anything to challenge you on that. Okay, just hopeful. I'm just hopeful that it's not true. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that it's not true because there are a lot of people in this great country that are hurting and they're not getting $1,200 and they're not getting $400 in food stamps.
Well, I better not say anything because we don't want them moving to Louisiana to get it.
All right, everybody out there that needs help, pick up, move to Shreveport, Louisiana. Jane will be at the she'll be at the highwayman to welcome you. Okay.
No, I don't want any more here. Believe me. No, I enjoy your show. I was sitting up, like I said. And
it sounds like you're unwinding.
Yeah, I'm unwinding.
Great.
I'm proud of you for talking to everybody all over the country. It's interesting. I would like to do that. I think that would be fun.
Well, you may end up being my co-host, okay? You may end up being my co-host because I'm not getting any of those beautiful California girls to call in. Okay.
Well, we've got a lot of good-looking ones in Louisiana.
I know. I used to work in New Orleans. I was in New Orleans for a year.
Okay, well...
All you have to do is go down the French Quarter, and you will see whatever you want to see.
Anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Any time of the day or night.
Right. Well, I've only been there once or twice, so you've probably been there more than I have.
Okay, good to talk to you,
Jane.
Good
to talk to you, too. Bye.
Thank you. We have time to take the other Louisiana call. This is like, for a period of time, we were a California talk show. Now we're a Louisiana talk show. What happened to California? Anybody listening out in California, give us a call at 1-800-365-8833. The new, brand new, debuting tonight, Stan Major program. STANMAJOR, the Stan Major program. Let's go to Lionel in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. I wanted to reply to the lady, the teacher that was just talking to you.
Sure.
If you ever drive through the housing projects in this town or any town, you don't see Volvos or Cadillacs. And once, many years ago, I got on food stamps for approximately 2 weeks when my children were real little. You are so demeaned when you ask for help, and they don't give you big bucks at the welfare office. That's a misconception. And I know a lot of middle-class white students at the universities who get food stamps and loans, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I think when the economy's bad, people begin to fear.
Loans that they don't pay back, by
Right.
the way, so we all have to pick up the tab for that.
But there's always exceptions. But when the economy's bad, and it is right now, and the whole thing is going somewhere in a basket, you'll find you'll have David Dukes
Mm-hmm.
and more David Dukes. And I'm not trying to be rude, but just drive around sometime in the poor areas and see how many Volvos you see.
Linnell, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Now, I can understand the frustration of Jane and a few other people out there who've called in tonight. I can totally understand their frustration. And I used to be in the farming business. We had 3 farms up in northwest Illinois, and we never made a dime on those farms. And we used to, we got subsidies for not planting crops, okay? And there were times that people were taking those subsidies that they had huge parcels of land, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres, and buying good cars. And that's the way that worked. We'll be back.